Hello everyone, welcome to Insights with Woodrow, and today we have Mr. Woodrow here. And so, Mr. Woodrow, tell us about yourself and about the channel.
Thank you all. Welcome to my show. This is Insights with Woodrow. My name is Woodrow Wilson Rading. I'm a lawyer by training. I'm a chess instructor, and I'm a futurist. This show is about artificial intelligence. We shall be able to learn in all the spheres in our lives. How does artificial intelligence play a role? And most importantly, improving our lives through AI and not replacing ourselves.
Okay, you have told us that you're a futurist. So, who is a futurist?
What I can say, a futurist is one of the new professions which is emerging from the Internet of Things, so as to speak. A futurist is someone who is able to study data, that is the past data which has been made available. A futurist is able to analyze the data which has been made available, and most importantly, he can be able to predict the future by relying on the available data. That's why in this emerging profession, we are talking about creating the future.
So, what is artificial intelligence and why should we be concerned?
As you sit here, there is no clear definition of what artificial intelligence is. You'll be surprised. Even the scientists themselves, if you pose this question, they cannot give you a direct answer. But the consensus is that it's a discipline in computer science that tries to use systems and procedures which require human intelligence. And here we have deep learning, yes, and machine learning, which are the most prevalent, used everywhere, all over the world.
You have said machine learning and deep supervised. What are those?
Machine learning is where we use structured data to keep on improving. It's like algorithms being fed with more algorithms, the result is more and more data. Where I see this happening mostly is in terms of email filtration. At the same time, I see it in transportation, yeah. And as we go on, I'll be able to explain it more in deeper details.
Okay, and why should we be concerned?
Yes. Why should we be concerned? Because with artificial intelligence, what we're doing is that we are predicting the future. And clearly, as we all know, all spheres of our lives are about the future.
This sounds more of what would exist in the developed countries, say America and China.
Yes, Judy. You see what happens is this, huh? Many a times we try to make it look like, okay, let me call it the Far East and developed countries is where AI is prevalent. But I can tell you, for easier knowledge, no. Even our own scientists they can also do the same. And anyone who is keen on data, because this information has been made available to anyone. So it's about feeding it into machines. And remember, like the way I said when we started, the more you feed, the more data you can get.
Yeah, so what would you say about its applicability here in Africa and in particular in Kenya?
I'll take the example of Kenya. What I can say, we can use the example of healthcare. In healthcare, there's so many apps which I've come across where they use the text messaging, then you're given back the feedback. This mostly works in terms of sexual and reproductive health. I have to say again, for us, agriculture is the key.
So you have talked about agriculture. Let me stick with it because agriculture contributes 26% of the gap, and bearing in mind that more than 40% of the normal population are employed in agriculture, and also 70% of the rural population. So let's talk about agriculture.
I'm also a farmer, but be that as it may, let me come to how AI improves for all of us. You see, there's an app where basically if you feel like you are a produce, there's something wrong with your produce, you just take a photo, you load it into the app, then it's able to do what? To tell you what diseases. And you'll agree with me, most of our produce is lost not in the market, but in the farms due to diseases. I'll tell you another thing. Some years back, it was very common for us to be receiving agricultural extension officers. What was the work of the agricultural extension officers? They were coming to advise us about soil fertility, when to plant, how to go about it when you face a challenge. But with AI, all that information is available at our fingertips. Basically, what we need, what we have as farmers is our phone. Then we are able to just check. And you know, like with the recent budgetary allocation to the Ministry of Agriculture itself, it's low. But that does not mean that there's nothing that is progressing in terms of agriculture. I'll add another very good perspective which I like. We're now able to predict the rainfalls. We know when it will rain, then farmers can be advised when to plant their products. What happens when it doesn't rain? We take insurance. Agriculture, again, if we look at it, it's about productivity. And with the burgeoning population of this country, food reserves will play a major role. So the earliest time we incorporate AI into all this, the better for us all. Farmers will not only be able to feed their children, but also more and more income with lower costs.
That's very interesting. So are the predictions something that can be relied on?
We cannot always sit back and cry wolf after something has happened. This data has been made available to everyone. So then, this issue of relying on rainfall-led agriculture is what we can try and avoid. Because what happens the time it's not raining? It is the farmers who are bearing the brunt. So as a farmer, you're able to gauge and to know when to plant what and which season to plant. Most importantly, again, let's not forget, it's very prevalent to take into account which agricultural products does best in which kind of a scenario that is.
So let's move to healthcare. Would you please tell us the role of artificial intelligence in healthcare?
Yes, especially at this time that we are facing COVID. It's a tough time for us all. Then, like you have rightfully asked, what role would AI play? Here in Africa, and Kenya in particular, not many people are in places where there's good healthcare, so as to speak. Even in those areas where we would assume generally that the healthcare is good, we find that it is overcrowded hospitals. There's always the issue of understaffing in the healthcare. When we have a system, an AI-enabled system, where we keep on feeding data, analyzing that data again, like they have said, and then being able to know what works best at which place. But the key thing here is when the government is distributing maybe the medicine and everything, it's easy to know because the machine, the software already, can predict which kind of diseases are prevalent in that region.
Okay, you have talked about a lot in healthcare. How about healthcare of patients?
As a patient, I am to fall sick. I just go into my phone and I have the app already. So I feed the symptoms into the app. Then it tries to zero in on what you could be suffering from. Then that way, after some time, you'll realize, even when you go to the hospital, you already have an idea of what is affecting you. We cannot hide from the fact that more and more doctors will always be out in search of better opportunities for themselves. But what happens to our hospitals? AI again can offer very good leads.
Yeah, that's true. Now let me ask about the medical supplies. How does it work?
Medical supplies, in Kenya we have Kenya Medical Supplies Authority. KEMSA works on distributing of the medicine to various regions in this country. Through AI, they can be able, like the way I said, they can be able to pinpoint and know what to deliver at each place. As we sit here, medicine is easily made available to the hospitals. Not only medicines being made available to the hospital, but the right medicine being delivered to the right hospital.
Yeah, and would you tell us about the role of artificial intelligence in dealing with the deadly cancer?
Cancer is something that is very dear to many. I know some people have lost their beloved because of cancer. The causes of cancer are well known. They can be prevented. And again, although there's a debate about it, it can also be curable. So having that data made out there. So the question should be about preventing, because Judy, as you know, sometimes to cure this thing, it takes a toll on person. You can see the number of chemotherapy that they undergo, the mental strain it causes on them. But in AI, what we are saying, since the information has been made available there, it is known. So it's about preventing it and then reducing the rate of mortality, especially for the women. Let's not forget, the more data we feed into the algorithms, the more predictions can be right for us all.
Okay, so this channel is all about artificial intelligence, predicting the future. So in AI, how would you predict the future?
Like the way I said, this is an emerging discipline. It never used to be there. Right now, when you look at investment banking uses a lot of AI. I was just trying to look at these apps, the mobile phone apps, and also realized, I checked out and realized that, so it's all about AI. They're able to gauge your credit history by analyzing information that is not only available to CRB, but also information which is out there on your credit worthiness.
Okay, that is very interesting. So everyone, today we have learned a lot about artificial intelligence. To be honest, individually I didn't know a lot, but today I've learned a lot about artificial intelligence. And thank you, Mr. Woodrow, for being here with us today. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel, Insights with Woodrow. Yeah, until next time, bye.